Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for this hour of One America News. I'm Emily Finn. To start out this hour, in a move to protect the country, the White House announces new restrictions on travel from Brazil due to the spread of coronavirus in South America's hardest hit country. The Trump administration message. So, Madison, walk us through why you decided to run in the first place. It's no secret that some young people shy away from getting involved in politics, but now you may become the youngest person elected to Congress. So what do you hope to accomplish with this campaign?
Well, Emily, I feel like you can probably relate to this. I understand that you're the youngest national anchor there is in the country, and so I'm sure you realize that our culture is not going in a good direction.
Chinese trade talks.
It certainly sounds like President Trump is being cautious. And Chanel, I think it's interesting to quickly point out, we saw some reports of some of the demonstrators, although they were small groups within the giant protests, they were actually waving American flags. And so many believe that repping the U.S. flag is not only an effort to infuriate President Xi and make his government look weak, like they've lost total control of the city, but other protesters are saying that they're trying to encourage President Trump and the U.S. government, for that matter, to take some action. But like you pointed out, a more diplomatic tone might be the best approach amid these ongoing trade talks. So let's shift to our trade war with China. We know the White House's September deadline for the 10% tariffs have been delayed to November. What does the president's game plan seem to be here? Now we want to take you live to South Dakota, where One America's Jack Posobiec is on the scene, where protesters seem to be blocking the road to Mount Rushmore. Hi, Jack. It's great to see you. Now, there have been some reports that riot police are now present, and I just heard in my ear that the National Guard may be firing pepper balls on protesters. So tell us, what's going on out there? What have you been seeing on the ground?
With you on the board, it's great to see you today.
Thank you. And with that, we'll send it back to you, Emily.
Thanks so much, Jen. Does Congressman Biggs have any plans for Christmas? I know he's fighting to keep Christmas there today.
Yeah, that's a good question. So Emily back in San Diego wants to know if you have any plans for this Christmas.
My plan is to just be with family as much as possible.
Alex, I keep saying that the only person that comes second to Dr. Fauci that has received so much fame and recognition from coronavirus is Gretchen Whitmer. And I mean, she was elected during the 2018 midterms. I covered her campaign. I was still in college at the time. And not many people knew who she was on a national front. And since March, in just 2 months, Cecily Strong has played her on SNL. Yeah. There was a rapper in Detroit that, gave her the nickname Big Gretch and said that she earned her Cartier buffs. And now she's being considered as VP of the United States of America. I mean, talk about a big year for this woman. Yeah. We shall see, Neil, if they do blow up Christmas. And, Santa will certainly be checking to see who's been naughty and who's been nice during these impeachment proceedings. But one final question for you before you go. The president seems in good spirits about his chances to survive. He even said he wants to call Schiff to testify if there is a trial in the Senate. So what's the overall feeling in Washington? As our country attempts to grapple with nationwide protests against police brutality and the coronavirus pandemic, we turn our attention to this year's elections. He's a former Oakland Raiders safety, Super Bowl champion, and now the Republican nominee in Utah's 4th Congressional District. Burgess Owens joins us now. Hello, Mr. Owens. It's a pleasure to speak with you. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to chatting with you for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so over the weekend, President Trump endorsed your campaign, and you responded and said, quote, "From a childhood in segregation to being endorsed by the president, it's an honor to live in a country that has made that possible." But in America right now, we are seeing many people that don't necessarily agree with you that it's an honor to live in this country. Instead of celebrating 4th of July weekend, we saw large protests across the nation supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. So how do you feel the president has handled this nationwide unrest?
Well, first of all, he's doing the right thing. What we have to understand, Emily.
Certainly a very busy day for President Trump and his supporters, and Stop the Steal really seems to be the battle cry of all of these events going on today. And we know that in Wisconsin, Trump's campaign team will be in front of the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. So it'll be interesting to see the reactions from everyone there in D.C. as to what they're hoping is going to happen there today. Lots of developments in the Trump campaign's fight for election integrity. So, Jen, we'll be checking in with you at the rally. Thanks so much for that update.
Sounds great. Thanks, Emily.
If you're going to watch the Super Bowl, are you?
Yes. Elma, that's funny. I got a Twitter response from a viewer asking me who I was rooting for, and I said, I only root for the Detroit Lions, so Super Bowl Sunday is always a sad day for me because they've never been to a Super Bowl. So I'm not really invested in this game today, but hopefully next year the Lions make an appearance.
Okay, well, you're right. There's always next year. I'm rooting for the 49ers, but I was thinking smart today. I wore red because both teams rep the color red. So
There you
whoever
go.
wins, I got you.
Very smart fashion choice, Alma.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Emily. That's going to do it for me. I'm Elma Aksalic. Take it away.
Stanley Cup Finals appearances. Now, Mike, I have a trivia question for you, but first, are you a big hockey fan?
Yeah.
So? Okay, you ready for this?
Shoot.
Can you name all of the original 6 teams?
Oh my goodness. Are you serious? I don't know. Flyers, Rangers, Oilers, Canucks.
You got one. So we got the New York Rangers,
Go for it.
Boston Bruins,
Yeah.
we have the Chicago Blackhawks, Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, and most importantly, the Detroit Red Wings.